Hi friends, welcome to today's session. As part of this session, we will see compatibility modes in SAP BW 7.5 or onwards. So, as you are aware, most of us are working in existing BW system or BW landscape, right? Wherein most of the clients were on non-HANA system, like they might be using different database other than HANA earlier. So now, obviously, as SAP come up with its own innovative database, which is HANA database, again, which works on columnar database, we have a lot of advantages, correct? Slowly, one by one, clients are moving from non-HANA database to HANA database, and also they are migrating, correct? So the migration of the database is one thing. Also, we as a BW consultant also has to adapt the new innovation or new modeling methodology or the latest objects given by SAP. As you're aware, with BW on HANA, SAP BW on HANA system comes up with a new version of the objects or new HANA optimized objects such as info objects, ADSOs, and composite providers. So we have to start using this as soon as possible so that we'll be using the highly optimized version of the objects which are relevant for our BW modeling, right? So uh, we won't be having conventional objects such as the standard DSO, right optimized DSO, or the conventional cubes and multi-provider. SAP has given an alternative version of the objects in HANA optimized models such as info objects, ADSO. You can set the property of an ADSO to work as a standard DSO, right optimized DSO, or cube, planning cube. And there is no multi-provider or info set. We will be having only the composite provider, right? So we as a consultant has to start using the new object. But as a senior consultant or as a senior architect of your company, what you can do, you can set the compatibility mode so that you can set some restrictions so that we can move our team or encourage our team to start using the new version of the objects. How can we do that? There comes the compatibility mode in SAP BW. Okay, there are different compatibility modes exist for SAP BW 7.5 onwards. You also aware even with 7.5, BW 7.5 supports both BW on HANA or non-HANA system, right? So this particular compatibility mode will be there whenever your backend database is HANA. There are three compatibility mode. One is BW mode, which will be there by default. You can choose the compatibility mode or BW for HANA mode. Okay, these are different modes. It is like it will set some restriction for the developer to either change the objects or modify the objects or creating the new objects. The very first mode, BW mode. Assume that your BW system was on non-HANA database. Now slowly you migrated to HANA database. The backend database migration has been completed. Now post that if you're not touching any of the setting, so all your old DSO cube multi-provider composite provider will be present in case of your BW mode. And also here you can even create a new objects. You can also manage the existing objects or conventional BW objects such as multi-provider, standard cube, standard DSOs and all. Okay, so conventional objects will be present in your system. At the same time, you can manage that, you can modify that, and also you can create new objects also of type conventional objects like DSO, cube, and all. At the same time, even HANA optimized objects will also be present. Okay, and you can manage that, such as advanced DSOs, composite provider, and all you can create in case of BW mode. Whereas next mode is compatibility mode. So BW 7.5 with SAP HANA only, all the legacy objects such as InfoCube can exist, but they cannot be created or modified unless they have been explicitly added to the wish list. What is compatibility mode? As you are aware, when we set the for this mode to be set, your backend database has to be HANA. At the same time, you can set this particular mode so that you can still see all your conventional objects like standard DSO, standard InfoCube and all, but you cannot make any modification to that. Assume that if there is a need or the production ticket raised or some enhancement needs to be done for the flow which is having the conventional objects like InfoCube and DSO, you cannot do any changes to that flow. What you have to do, you have to create a new ADSO which will behave like an info cube and with the same set of property, and you will have to move the newly HANA optimized objects. Okay, so no changes to the existing conventional objects are allowed in the compatibility mode. And if at all you wanted to allow some changes, there is something called wish list. You can add those objects to the wish list. Even in your compatibility mode, only the objects which are present in your wish list, right? You can still do the modification and move across the landscape. Okay. So the third mode is BW for HANA mode. Okay, BW B4H mode. The system is in SAP BW for HANA mode. Only HANA optimized functions can be used. The functionality is that of an SAP BW for HANA system, which permits a simple upgrade to BW for HANA. What does it mean? So when you set your mode to BW for HANA or B4H mode, you cannot have any conventional BW objects such as standard DSO, standard cube, multi-provider and all. This particular mode you will be set when you have all your conventional objects cleansed up in your system. You have migrated old conventional objects to BW on HANA objects such as ADSOs and composite provider, and once you had got rid of your conventional objects like DSO, cube, and your multi-provider info sets and all, you are ready for BW for HANA migration. It is very simple migration in that case. Okay. So here you cannot create a DSO, you cannot create a conventional cube because it will not allow. You can create only HANA optimized objects or only HANA optimized functions are enabled, because SAP itself is promoting to start using the HANA optimized version of the objects like info objects, ADSO, and the composite provider. Only three types of objects will be there when we are working on BW for HANA system onwards. Okay, so moving on, there was a program where in you can use that program to enable or disable this compatibility mode, but that program has been replaced with a new program. The old program was rs underscore b4 HANA underscore check enable, whereas the new program is rs underscore bw for HANA, b for HANA underscore conversion underscore control. This particular T code is also called as SAP HANA transfer cockpit. Okay, this particular T code will be there in your BW system. The it is not a T code; it's a program. rs underscore b for HANA underscore conversion control. If you go to this particular T code, it will let you to enable or disable your the compatibility mode, and also it will allow you to set the wish list objects if at all you wish to exclude any objects from restriction of being edited. Okay, so let us see this particular program in our BW system. I'm in SC38 transaction code, and enter your program name, which is for the conversion control, that is rs underscore b4 HANA underscore conversion control. Execute the program. Once you execute the program, in the selection screen, the options are split into three different sections: system statistics, prepare phase, and realization phase. So in the system statistics, you can see the total number of info cube and data store objects, which is nothing but a DSO, and overall how many number of records it is holding. Okay, and you can also click on this the top 10 button. It will show top 10 info cube and data source information based on the size of the objects. Okay, and also in the prepare phase, you can see uh, you can execute the pre checks, and you can also check the transport request. You can also run the resizing report. You can run the code scanning the option. You can also execute cleanup reports. You can also transfer standard authorization for the initial run. Okay. And in the realization phase, you have execute scope transfer option, wherein you can run this option, and you can also see the statistics. Okay, and if you want to delete some technical content objects, what are technical content objects? These are the objects which will hold technical information, for example DTP statistics, info package statistics, cube statistics, all those things, right? You can delete that. And you can also do the change operation mode, which is nothing but current mode is, you see here, BW mode. So means both conventional BW objects has changes are allowed, and also you can go with even modification of the or creation of new unoptimized object. You can click on this. You will get a pop-up window wherein you can see the BW mode, compatibility mode, BW for HANA mode, okay? And for the setting also you can use execute online, execute batch, collect statistics, okay? So you can change the settings from this particular transaction code, okay? Thanks for watching this videos, friends. If you have any doubts or feedback, feel free to enter the same in the comment section below. I will try to answer or create a dedicated video on that. Thank you so much and have a good one. Hi everyone. If you are looking for SAP online training on following modules such as SAP BW, SAP BW ABAP, SAP BW on HANA, SAP HANA modeling, and SAP HANA SQL, feel free to reach out to me on my mail ID, that is venugopalmn1988@gmail.com. Also, you can call me on my mobile number, that is +91 followed by 973 998 3992. Thank you so much and have a good one.